Oi, Manu. Oi, Pia. Oi, Ana. How are you, girls? Thank you so much for accepting our invitation in this difficult time for everyone. I want to make an introduction to position those who watch us on the topic we have agreed by email 15 days ago so that everyone is on the same page. This pandemic period has brought an uncertainty about our future in many ways. Unemployment, closed businesses, a great anxiety to find a vaccine and other medicines have made the human race see the world from another perspective. The food business is one of the most affected in these difficult times. Consumers are looking for healthy solutions, and some companies are positioning themselves in the market with products that and strategies that apparently seem pro-nature, biodiversity, and human life on Earth. At the same time, we now give much more value to simple things. We realize that we can survive with much less. All these issues can be linked to the basics of the word regeneration. Now it's time to get together and reevaluate our concepts. Will human beings be able to regenerate the situation on our planet? How will gastronomy be in this scenario? Here with us, powerful chefs in the world who can, with their influence, help to save the planet. Chef Ana Ross from the restaurant Isa Franco in Kobarid, Slovenia, Pia Leon from Kiol, Mil and Mater Initiative in Peru, and our dearest Manu Bufara from Manuzita and Hortas Urbanas, the Vegetables Gardens in Curitiba, Brazil. We have many questions, but we try to resume it in some of them. Can the chefs and the gastronomy regenerate the world through food, reconnecting people more with nature and simplicity than luxury and high consumerism? How can you, in your individual business and attitudes, collaborate to regeneration? So you can talk now freely about this concept, starting to dear Ana Ross.
Hey, hi everyone from cold Slovenia. It is really cold in this moment. We are going to the winter. That's why I think Europe is really badly hit again by... Amazing. I'm so sorry. I was muted. So how is Europe in this moment? I'm not going to talk only about myself, but probably about the whole European situation. It's a pure disaster because we've been in spring through the first lockdown, and it has been painful because it lasted for 3 months. And then the worst thing that could have happened was like a beautiful summer period where everything looked amazing and all right, and we actually recovered. Like Isa Franco made actually a record in the August work, and it looked like people will still want to travel, and everything looked all right. I think this situation made sleep the governments because they didn't get ready for the second wave, even if I honestly think we all knew it's gonna come back. And then Pam, we had a case of the virus in the team in September, which didn't make it really easy because that was still high season, and we actually decided to close down for the next 10 days. And then I don't know, I think we live like in a kind of a nightmare. So I don't even calculate days, but I think it's another month we are closed down again. So the second lockdown started more or less a month ago, and it's going on from today's decisions of the government in the most brutal possible way. So if you ask me how I feel, yeah, I feel shit, of course, because it's I'm having people, 35 people from my team with me still and always on me, and I would like to give them work, and I would like to give them a future. On the other side, there is like the whole food chain is collapsing with it. there is nothing really good going on because a small country is super connected to small producers, to small farmers, and it's really not easy. And like every day somebody calls me, he says, I don't even have for my seeds and for my plants. And so we are trying, to move our asses and to be really, really efficient. So I'm honestly becoming the most hated person in Slovenia in this moment because I kick my ass and the ass of the government to think about every activity and every person. And we are doing auctions and charity projects to help farmers to survive and so on. It's really hard because in Europe there is no program in this moment how things are gonna come out. Now, if you ask me how 2021 is gonna be, because this is what I would like to talk about, it's gonna be amazing. We will be best chefs on earth because we have time to study now. We have time to study our plants, and we have time to study about the things we never had time about. But this moment is really a moment of survival, and second lockdown makes you think about the brutality of being locked down. When, I don't know, I had a friend of mine who suicided himself today, and it's a kind of you understand it's for real, and it's there is no exit out because we don't see it up to now in Europe. It's every day another country is declaring just like white flag hanging, not knowing what to do anymore. So I would say that to prevent it, honestly, where Europe failed, and I think we all know it, it's about we had this beautiful summertime when we all thought it's gonna be over, hitting down with numbers again, being happy to be able to work again, and then not really everybody took enough care, and taking care in this moment is the only thing that is gonna help us really out. So I wish South America is not gonna go through the second wave because this one is a little bit harder than the first one, at least in Europe. To be positive, I really believe that out of the worst possible situation, there are the best stories that come out. There is time to reflect, for reflection. There is time to, get better. There is time to recover. It's time to run and do yoga if you want. But considering how vulnerable really we are, and maybe this is the best lesson we could take out of this really, really bad situation.
Okay.
Manu, can you tell us what
Yes.
is your vision of future and what is your situation now?
Well, I believe that the limitation on the freedom that come and go, the pandemic caused on us, gave us the unique opportunity to reflect on the way that on the way that we believe, the way we cook, the way we are in the planet, the way that we need to understand all of these. It's caused by a man, and I think we need to look the future and understand the future and understand our surrounding and believe in our place, in our country, in our city, and take that opportunity. It's not opportunity, but I think the nature is giving us a sign that we need a change. We need to understand why we are here and why we are cooking, and how we can make a change, how we can make a change in the planet, how we can make a change in the future. And I think it's not today, the future of restaurants and chefs is not just about cooking and serving tasting menu and serving food. We are the tools for a change, and I believe that us as a chef, as woman, as even a man, is not just being a cook, but being something that make a change, that can make a change in the future, in the kids, in the way we think. And our planet need that. And I think as as something so big that is causing not just in Europe but in the whole world. And for us in South America, it's kind of like difficult in Brazil because we have been struggling by the hunger, and so many people is hunger now. And how we can fight that? How we can fight that for next year? That's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard that we are serving someone near us, almost like dying because they don't have food in their plates. And if we counting today in Brazil, we have more than 10 million people in that vulnerability. And I think it's our job. It's our job as working with the small producer, as cooking, as maybe we can use that for a change. We can use that for our community. And I believe in next year, of course, we're gonna be better. I'm always thinking positive. Of the next year, we're gonna see that change. We're gonna see people believing their food. I think we're gonna rethink the way that we connected with the land. Not just us as a chef, as community, but I think people. We are always like in a hurry. Time was our biggest enemies because we always I need to I'm in a rush. I don't have time to eat. I'm just gonna grab a sandwich, and we weren't looking the food that was in front of us. So I think now it's time to reconnect with our city, to our country, to our land, to our kids. They're gonna be the future. They're gonna be the tools of the fighting, and I think we need. It's our fight. It's the fight as a chef, as a woman, as everyone need to take that and let's do it together. I think food can change a nation. We can change a diet of a nation, and I think that's our job in the future. And of course, we have time to reflect. We have time to look the ingredients that are in our door, the ingredients that are really near of us, and I think we're gonna cook better. I believe that. I believe we're gonna cook better. We're gonna look better to our trash. I believe we're gonna look to the plastic that we are using. I believe we're gonna be strong, and we are gonna be better human beings for the society, for the politics, for the culture, and for the future. And I believe in these two ladies, and Dominic is not the third one, but I believe we together we can make that change.
Pia. Pia, now it's your turn. Sí, sí.
Perfecto.
¿Vas a hablar en español? Sí, bellísimo.
Sí,
Vamos.
en español. Sí. Bueno, yo estoy aquí desde...
No, va, dale.
No problem. Ok.
No
bueno,
problem.
yo estoy aquí desde Lima,
Conmigo
desde
no
Perú,
es un
así
problema.
como... Perfecto. Estoy desde Perú, así como Ana contaba un poco qué es lo que sucedía allá. Sí considero que yo puedo contar un poco y creo que es una gran oportunidad, muchas gracias por la invitación, poder contar un poco qué es lo que nos ha pasado a nosotros o qué es lo que nosotros estamos viviendo ahorita, ¿no? Nosotros hemos estado lockdown 4 meses y al 5.º mes ya hemos podido abrir, ¿no? Han sido meses dificilísimos, distintos, de mucha incertidumbre, pero creo que lo clave para nosotros como equipo fue mantener primero la calma, encontrar la tranquilidad, la paz. Como decía Manu, siempre nos quejamos de que no hay tiempo, ¿no? Que uno está full, y creo que fueron momentos de buscar tranquilidad y paz para así poder conseguir un poco de claridad en la mente y poder tomar decisiones importantes no solo para uno, sino para el equipo, ¿no? Y creo que esto ha sido clave, ¿no? Y a veces uno lo menosprecia, ¿no? Este hecho de tener tranquilidad y claridad en mente para poder reaccionar ante estas situaciones que nunca nadie se imaginó. Y con esto poder adaptarnos, ¿no? Y buscar soluciones y nuevos conceptos, ¿no? Y eso lo jalo y cuento un poco cómo nosotros nos hemos podido reactivar, ¿no? Como comunidad. Sí pienso que primero, como dije, hay que estar bien con uno mismo, luego poder buscar el bien común para la gente que te rodea directamente y luego con el exterior, ¿no? En mi caso soy realista, ¿no? A mí me encantaría y tengo la intención definitivamente de mejorar el mundo y demás, pero creo que ahorita lo que a mí me toca como cocinera y definitivamente como líder es primero cuidar a la gente que me rodea, ¿no? Al equipo. En nuestro caso somos 40 personas que estamos aquí luchando, que nos hemos tratado de adaptar y buscar soluciones. Entonces, es por eso que hace 3 meses, este es un ejemplo de qué manera nosotros hemos podido activarnos, creamos este nuevo concepto que se llama Rebarranco. Barranco por el lugar donde nos encontramos, que es el distrito, y para poder reactivarnos, recomunicarnos con la comunidad de cocina, y es por eso que invitamos a varios restaurantes vecinos, a productores, a artesanos, y la idea fue esa, ¿no? Invitarlos, y aquí sucedían cenas donde los invitados podían mostrar su trabajo, sus conceptos, sus productos, todo lo que ellos han venido trabajando, y creo que se formó un restaurante, porque lo hicimos aquí en mayo, que ya tenía otro propósito, ¿no? El dar el ejemplo de liderazgo, de poder salir adelante, de poder buscar soluciones a este momento, y creo que ha sido muy, muy enriquecedor, ¿no? Nos hemos sabido adaptar y funcionando a la vez central y funcionando COIE, creo que ha funcionado, ¿no? Tú preguntabas mucho cómo veíamos el fine dining en el futuro, ¿no? Es una pregunta que escuchamos mucho y que nos las hacen. Mira, después de todo esto que hemos vivido, para nosotros creo que ahorita el mejor ejemplo es el restaurante que tenemos en Cusco. Está cerrado ahorita, está cerrado desde marzo, no lo hemos podido abrir. Lo estamos abriendo en diciembre y estamos yendo para allá. Y creo que ese va a ser el futuro para nosotros de alta cocina o fine dining, ¿no? El poder encontrar y tener una experiencia de simpleza, de poder tener una conexión directa con el campo, y eso es lo que nosotros queremos ofrecer ahora a las personas que nos visiten, ¿no? Eso es lujo ahorita para nosotros, ¿no? El poder realmente vivir cómo es una siembra desde un inicio, qué es lo que sucede, de ahí sentarte y tener una experiencia con la comida, realmente tener una alta experiencia de vida, ¿no? Algo que sea memorable. Eso para nosotros ahorita es, por decirlo de alguna manera, el futuro del fine dining. Y definitivamente creo que lo más importante para nosotros en este momento ha sido mantener al equipo unido. Nosotros como líderes con Malena y con Virgilio ha sido difícil, ¿no? Porque también hay que aceptar y ser realistas que han sido días muy difíciles dentro de tanta incertidumbre, pero creo que la clave es esa, ¿no? Y no solamente se aplica al restaurante ni a una cocina, ¿no? En general creo que sirve mucho mantener la paz y la calma y la tranquilidad, y esto desencadena tener motivación, saber adaptarnos, mantenernos creativos, innovando, y creo que eso ha sido muy importante para nosotros ahorita, ¿no? Gracias a Dios ahorita estamos, por decirlo de alguna manera, libres, ¿no? No hemos vuelto a estar lockdown, pero como decía Ana, ojalá que no suceda una segunda ola, ¿no? Estamos rezando, creo que la gente dentro de todo ha sabido mantener calma y se ha portado bien, ¿no? Definitivamente hay un porcentaje que no. Pero bueno, por ahora creo que estamos en una mejor situación y esperemos que no empeore.
Okay. Thank you, Pia. So now I invite each of you to ask your colleague a question. First, Manu asks Zania, then Anna can ask Pia, and Pia Manu. Now we can talk freely too.
So I have a question. Maybe if Pia wanted to answer too. But I want to ask you guys about the food vulnerability in the world, and how I think we have a role on that matter, and how we can help this in the future, because this is gonna have not just in Brazil or South America, but I think in the whole world or the planet. And I think it's our role to, to do something. And what are your reflection about that?
I think we are on a point of really huge food vulnerability, not only being vulnerable, but also in a risk. Because I'm dyslexic, don't worry, I cannot pronounce big words. But also the problem of losing maybe some traditions and some really important connotations we got in the last times. And because the most vulnerable, and this is easy to pronounce for me, elements or subjects in this crisis are actually those that are the most important for the gastronomy and for the future of the world. And this is where I really see that we can risk a lot if we don't do a big step forward and help somehow communities, whether this is Pia in her world, whether this is Manu in her world, or at the end this is me in my world, and so many chefs that can step together. And I think the role of a chef is really, really important in this moment, because we are a voice from nowhere. And can I just tell you this, and you wouldn't believe it, but actually in my part of the world, I'm a voice of nowhere. Like today when I was working on a kind of auction charity plan for the farmers, I actually was crying, because I was thinking that, I can shout for myself and I can say it's not right, and like COVID can destroy half of the hospitality business. But who is listening to people without the voice? People who nourish me, my business, and everybody else. And I really think that today we should gather our forces and speak out for our community, which is not just the community of people who can speak loud, but it's a community of people we represent. These are people who work with us and on whom we count. And I find it really so important. And believe me, I'm a warrior. As I said before, I'm fighting for every single moment and every single person, every single step, every single element or produce we have in the kitchen. But it's gonna be a hard fight, and only together we will manage it. And this is really not in between the national borders, but it's going all around the world. And yeah, a chef is connected to so many people, and we should fight for them.
Manu,
¿Qué pasa?
ya, te pregunto, ¿de qué manera si se están juntando en Brasil restaurantes o pequeños negocios para poder reactivarse? Si hay algún movimiento o alguna intención de poder juntos, como decíamos hace un rato, poder salir adelante. ¿De qué manera, si existe o están haciendo algo?
Well, I live in Curitiba, so we do this over here. But so we created this restaurant that's like on the window, called Manuzita. It's just a window inside Manu. And with this restaurant, we work every Saturday with 23 producers or bars or, whatever. They're serving food in our window, so
Nice.
we invited them. So, we have Cosmo Bar this weekend. We have 2 wine producers, natural wine producers, and we have some gardens that come on here to serve or give vegetables. We have this bakery who give us we buy the bread. So it's like a movement. So every Saturday is 22 people that we open our window to them to have fun, and so we can have their producers and whatever. And so we have other movements that we are doing together. This is kind of like big, but it's all the restaurants. We create this platform that all the restaurants can be together and we can, you can come at Manu, but in the next Saturday or next week, you should go in the other restaurant, and then you have like 5 or 10% discount. So if you come here, and then I give you 3 or other names, and for this we can make happen, people together. And for the social program that we are doing on today, we complete the 14,000 meals that we serve during pandemic for homeless or for a small community, and it's really incredible. And we are doing this called Food for Curitiba, Feed Curitiba. It's a new program that we created. It's going to be the first one in December, that we are doing boxes with health food for the community, that really poor people that they don't have money even for gas to cook. So we are providing this kind of like a health meal, and meal that they never saw, like fish, that they don't know how they cook fish. So we created this recipe book that we are putting in these boxes. So we are doing like a lot of movements, because cooks can never be stopped. So as a leader, and then as a people that we wanna change, and then fighting. And so we are creating that, and it's really fun, because some of these restaurants I never have opportunity to be in. It's in my city, and the bread that we use in this Saturday, it's so nice bread. It's like he's cooking like really like on maybe like 100 years ago. He's doing the bread like this way,
the traditional
really
way.
fun. Yeah.
Hey Pia, I love Lima so much, and I think it's such a progressive city. What I really sometimes think that from difference with Europe, it really lives with gastronomy a lot. There is so much things going on. There is so much and so many beautiful young or less young chefs that are female and male, that are like on the food scene. Do you really think from your heart that, and do not think of the scenario that happened in Europe, you guys can all have magic to survive the 2020?
Yes, I have to be positive,
Yes, I can.
Do you hear?
With a little bit of
Okay.
distance. Yes, I can.
Okay, yes, of course. I have to be positive, because if not, it's not going to be good. Of course, here in South America, it's difficult, it's different comparing to Europe, of course, and we have to be really honest and to see the reality like it is. But yes, as you told to me, yes, here in Peru, we are really close. The chefs are like friends. So I think, yes, working together, looking to make different events, a lot of communication. I think we can do better, and next year, yes, we are gonna make it. I think so. I think the most important is to have, the power, the feel that everything is gonna be all right. You have to be positive, work a lot of work team, and of course transmit to all the team this positive attitude. So yes, I think it's gonna be better. Yes, we have to wait, to be patient.
Excuse me, my question is also going to, because you are leaking the international customer in this moment. I don't think the international guest is traveling in this moment. So I don't know how much it affects you and the Peruvian gastronomic.
Yes, it's true. Right now we don't have the plane is not working. right now we can, Brazilian people, Colombian people, Argentina, right now it's open, they can come. But yes, it's complicated. For example, for Central, normally we have 90% people from another countries, and it's true. But you know, we were working to adapt to the Peruvian people, and you know the Peruvian people is coming because I don't know, they are curious. They never have the option to come here to Central and to have this experience. So I think we are good with the Peruvian people. We adapted, and of course, it's not the same. It's not the same, but I think we are like surviving. You know, that's why we create this new concept, Rebarranco. We are doing on Saturdays, we are doing a brunch. So a lot of people is coming to the brunch. So it's difficult, it's not normal, but I think we are doing what we can, you know, and with the hope in the next month, more people for another countries can visit us. Right now, I think there are like 10 countries they can enter to Peru. So it's not too bad right now. It's getting better.
Amazing. So, my question is, even if you live in a big city as, but Slovenia doesn't have such a big city, but you still are a little bit the destination, to happen. Because if you look, Lima somehow is a little bit easier because it has a lot of players around and a lot of amazing chefs. I mean, I am in love with Virgilio and Pia, but there is also some others that are really make a good job. Like the place you come from in Brazil is like, even if it is a huge city, it's actually regarding the food just what we say, just Manu, and you can't name anyone else around you. And I'm just wondering, because you don't have the support of so many colleagues as maybe Virgilio and Pia and Virgilio can have, you are pretty a lonely rider. Do you think, because I honestly think like it's gonna change us, and this is no joke. I was the person who always said like, and the coronavirus is not gonna change me. Yeah, it's changing me today a lot. So I'm just asking you, do you think without big support from chefs or community that is on your level, you can make it keeping your philosophy, the philosophy that made Manu, I mean, fall in love, me, Pia, whoever I know with you? Do you think you can survive with that, or do you need to step down to the compromises since you are pretty alone over there?
So I think more than ever, because I think after the COVID, like when we open the restaurants now, it's almost 2 months that we open, 1 month that we
Yes,
open, 1 month and a
I
half, and we are full every day. And I think more than ever, people are supporting us because maybe, okay, Pia and people in São Paulo and people in Rio, they have other chef supports, but I have the community support and I have the client support and I have a lot of other chefs who are not in the same level. They are not serving fine dining or tasting menu, but they still are friends. So I never received so many chefs, so many other chefs from other restaurants in my restaurant, to eat. And I think it's because I'm the only one in the city and I'm one that put Curitiba on the map. And I feel proud of that. I feel proud of to be here and to be the leader of these people, to be the leader of these other chefs. And not they are helping me, but I think in the other hand, I helping them. And I really believe the work that I'm doing, and I really believe in the philosophy that I'm doing here. And I think more than ever, I need to believe in myself, and I need to believe and what the story that I'm putting here, that I'm putting in my place, that I'm putting in my city. And I'm proud to be from Curitiba, and I'm proud to be from Paraná. And I think that's what making Manu happen, and that's what making my, the people that work with me, and they are being proud, and they are, fighting with me all this time. We have been closed for 8 months, not 4 months, not 5 months, 8 months, and we are stick together. And we reopen with a new restaurant. We were supposed to this construction in December that we changed to do in August and September, and we reopen in October. And I'm really happy. I'm really happy to make the difference, to make a change in the city. And I think our business, the restaurant, the kind of like you and Pia, Central, and Koi and me, I don't think we're gonna finish. I think we're gonna come more strong, because I see people want to have an experience, want to see the food in different way. Yeah. Hola, ¿cómo
Algo divertido
estás?
muy bien, algo divertido para
good.
cambiar de giro, por favor.
Sí, vamos a viajar, ¿eh? Ven a Brasil, ¿no? Vamos a mil. Pia, pero sí, yo
Dime.
quiero I want to ask you a question about how you see yourself as a woman, as me, you, Anna, as a woman in the future. Do you think our role in the future will be different than now after COVID as a leader?
After COVID, okay.
Yeah.
I always say this, no? I think we decide what we want to be, For me, in my case, I not see like a difference between women and men. So if we want to make a big change, we want to be a big leaders in the world, or in our country, it depends of our decision, So yes, of course, I'm sure I feel confident, I feel powerful, secure with the actions, decisions I make from the reality with my team first, and then with other people, no? But I think it's important, our work. I think a lot of people hear the things we said, no? Small things, details, but I think it's really important. That's why right now we are not only cooks, no? We have to know about another things. I don't know, cultural things, history, society things, because it's not only about cook, no, right now. So yes, I think in the future we have the power, but the same with the men. We decide what we want to be, and we want to set.
Well, now we come to the end of this wonderful conversation with some of the most important chefs in the world. And I would like to thank each one of you for the time dedicated to discuss the humanity future to the Brazilian followers and Prazeres da Mesa. I hope we can kiss and hug as the Brazilian loves to do here in Brazil or over there in this wonderful world. Thank you very much, girls. Eu queria aproveitar também para convidar todos vocês para ficarem conosco amanhã no Mesa Regeneração. Lembrando que no fim do dia nós teremos outro debate internacional e um filme, o filme Terra e o Prato, do João Ferraz, que vai discutir todos esses temas de regeneração e que vai ser precedido de um debate muito legal com o Dan Barber, o chefe americano, e com o chefe italiano dinamarquês Christian Puglisi. O João vai falar com os dois, vai fazer um debate pré-estreia. E esse filme você só vê aqui. Então aproveitem, porque depois vai levar um tempo para ele ir para o circuito de cinemas. Então muito obrigada pela audiência. Amanhã a partir das 11, o debate às 6 da tarde, o filme às 7 da noite. Até lá, gente!
Foi muito gratificante estar dentro da Amazônia, naquela relação tão íntima com a ancestralidade brasileira. Entender que você pode consumir aqui no Sudeste um produto que é cultivado, é tratado por pessoas que estão ali dando a vida, dando sangue diariamente para que esse produto chegue para a gente. E com isso a gente está protegendo a floresta, todos esses povos que tiram sustento dali. Isso para mim não tem preço.